My name is Kim Cavell and I am exhausted. And the expression on my face, like I'm done. I'm an actor and filmmaker. I've been documenting the behind the scenes of making my first feature film. Right now that's like prepping for pitching. These are diary entries into the run up to the shoot. The shoot that's been pushed back I don't know how many times at this point. It's obviously frustrating and there's a lot of moving parts and there's a lot of people involved. I have a weight on my shoulders about that. Today was an introspective day. I worked through a poem that I'd written and turned it into what I can foresee Vivian at the press conference saying. So that made me happy that I kind of worked through that. And it came out of somebody basically saying that I'm a nobody and that I'm nothing and I'm not a real actor. Mind you, he wouldn't say that to my face because very few people would, but anyway, I said this to somebody who is a very good friend of mine. That person then told me. And I understand why he was frustrated and angry and wanted to say those things, because I had spoke to him about his attitude. Like attracts like, you know. So if you're out here with a hatred for it, whether that be health, if you have a hatred for your healthy diet, it's really not going to be that healthy for you. Same goes for anything, same for your career, whatever. I'm not usually one to give unsolicited advice, but if somebody is in front of me repetitively complaining about the same thing, eventually I'm going to give some unsolicited advice, and I did, and it caused him to say, nobody, and she's not this, she's not a real actor, she only makes her own films. What do I know? And she lives on a couch. I slept on a couch at the time. I mean, I was paying more than half the rent. It was an expensive couch, I guess. And then I went home and I wrote a poem. And when I write these poems, they come to me really fast. They come to me like within 5 minutes. And he said, I'm not a real actor because I write film, but now he lay still. He choked on a small white pill. I guess it was bitter. I wanted to sit there back on my throne. He's starting to choke. He pulled his back out his throat. Fuck it, I'll spit in the back of his throat. There's stopping from choking. That is a gift. I am not joking. You know, that was defensive. Don't be defensive. I'm just defending all of my senses. More like a scent. This is expensive. Out of the boardroom into the trenches. He's just a princess. I am the king, and this is the difference. All of the princes, all of the pages, they stay at home reading the paper. Sign me the papers. All of the pages, permanent marker. I cannot mark it. Trust me, I would not hit that. I need a hit, but give me my pre-back. I called it a T, but it doesn't hit like give me my pre-back. That was the prenup, that was the T-love, that was the owe me, and she doesn't owe me, he cannot touch me, he cannot show me all of my gifts. I could just phone in, cash in a check, but I'm not a phony, I am an actor, I am the bad man, I'm playing Batman. In fact, when I say cut, I don't mean from action. And that poem I wrote, yeah, within 5, maybe 10 minutes, just because of he talked some shit and I found out about it. I figured out how I could meld that into something at a press conference for Vivian Banks. As I'm writing a scene for the pitch reel that isn't in the actual movie, I want to see all sides of Vivian, as if she's lost, if she's won. In the movie, none of those scenarios necessarily take place or don't take place. The feeling in the air of who are you has been sort of like floating around for a couple of days now. People talking to me a little bit like, oh, they think that they're better than me. It's just brought a lovely fuel to Vivian Banks' press conference writing right now. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow, just kind of walk around my apartment and talk mad shit to myself and then write it down. Which sounds really insane, and that's why it would be difficult to writing and filmmaking and acting, and this part of the process is a big part of who I am. Anyone who wouldn't get that and wouldn't get that this is fictional and get that this is healing, it's never gonna work. Walking around like Vivian Banks, I don't feel like me at all. So I am exhausted, I can tell. I'm working very aggressively, mainly because I have the opportunity to do so. I'm using a lot of that to invest in this process and getting everybody paid. So it's really important to me to just keep pushing. You know, a lot of people have a lot of opinions about balance and whatnot, but now's the time for me, at least, to work it out and make it happen and get people paid and produce what I know is gonna get a yes from certain companies and certain agencies to this project. That's it. I don't know if these entries add value, but it's just kind of, I suppose, so people don't feel so lonely and I don't feel so lonely, because it's sometimes lonely, you know, bettering yourself or striving towards something or whatever it is. That's it. Good night.